Skip station ready. Safety's ready? Ready. Camera ready? Performers ready?
Yes.
Showtime!
Fire is the natural essence of kind of becoming from basic elements to what we all are to this day. You know, it's all created by fire. It affects you on a level that's deeper than I've really ever experienced in most other cases in my life. Never been a really religious person, but I would have to say that fire has sparked my religious little cauldrons and really been able to open me up to a lot of different things in life that I never really thought I would ever venture into.
It gives you a sense of like free expression. Like here's a new beginning. Here's your new community. Here's your chance to express yourself as however you want to be, and all the baggage of you know Nick and his day-to-day life is gone. I'm 3 now. I'm a performer. I'm someone who likes to walk around naked in a cape and spin fire. You know, I'm not the guy who's wearing the thermals and going to work every day. I'm some crazy fire dancer instead.
Hi, my name is Six. I am the Shin. I'm the head of Utah Fire Tribe. I'm Big Boss Man. I'm the beard in charge. Second in command, my right-hand man, Josh. Josh is pretty much like I just said, my second in command. Jacob, where's Jacob? Did he come in? Yeah. Jacob, this is Jacob. Jacob's head of our fire safety. This guy is he's the one in charge of making sure that we don't burn ourselves or other people or other people's property. Most importantly, being other people in their property. If you guys burn yourselves, well, we can live with that.
You had it coming.
Yeah, you had it coming. This year, our pod leaders are these people here. When we get into the meat and potatoes of our work this year, which is going to be working on creating a show for Burning Man and E11, these people are going to be in charge of each of the individual songs and pods. They'll be helping you guide your choreography, figuring out what you need to do, keeping you guys motivated, pushing things along. They're kind of our eyes and ears and liaison to Josh and I. So we don't have to try to be in 20 different places at once. Keep in mind, most of these folks, it's their first time doing this. This is kind of a first system that we're kind of retrying here with Utah Fire Tribe, this whole pod system. So be patient with them. They're learning just as much as you. But feel free to come to talk to these people about any ideas you have about your show. They're there for you guys to communicate. We want to keep a good open line of communication all the way through, so we can try to make our Fire Tribe year as fucking badass as possible.
When I walk in here and I talk to people, it's very interesting to find out everyone's backgrounds and things about them, and seeing how they can turn such simple things like flipping a staff or flipping just a ball and string and make it look amazing and fantastic and go with the music and kind of have this rhythm to it.
I didn't have a community of people, and I felt alone, and it gave me a group of people that were my friends that wanted to do the same thing I was doing.
Six will say that this will totally consume everything that you know and just kind of take a hold of your life, and it really does. I feel like there's just this is now such a huge part of my life. As you know, for the beginning it was just like, oh, this might be fun, this might be something I'd like to be a part of, but it really does just kind of consume everything you know and kind of take control of that, and that's definitely my favorite, is this, you know, getting to know everyone, the whole family, and yeah, the fact that it'll just take over everything.
There's always going to be new people that want to be a part of this. There was new people last year, there's new people this year, there's going to be new people next year, and not all of them, a lot of them probably haven't spun before, at least not on fire, or they don't understand technique.
It's always a little frustrating because every single year on the first day of practice we have dozens of bright-eyed, bushy-tailed burners who show up, and people who want to learn how to spin, and they're so full of ambition, like, oh, we're gonna go to Burning Man, we're gonna spin all of the props and all of the tools, and then within about 2 months, maybe half or 2/3 of them are no longer showing up to practice.
You're learning where you need to put your focuses, separating from the hardships of your normal life, your work life, your social life. But this is a whole new animal that you're basically going to tame, and basically you can either it becomes your best friend or your best enemy, depending on where you let your focus go. So I think that's the best thing. I'm going to try to hone in with my new people, is just to look at this as like you're a child. You're part of the novel in your life as a fire spinner, is like beginning now. Like your directions get to be decided by you.
It changed my mental health, it changed my relationship with myself. You know, when I first started, I had this opinion that, well, I break my foot opening doors. I can't spin fire. I'm too uncoordinated and clumsy. I'm too fat. There's no way I could do that. And then it forced me to realize that my body was capable of doing so many amazing things, and that fire spinning specifically was the vehicle for me to realize that.
I do think new people should also be aware that they're coming to work. It is fun, it is a hobby, it is a performance, it's an art, but it is still work. And if you're gonna show up to work or do a new job, then you gotta learn how to do the job, regardless of what it is.
Today what we're doing is basically the whole show is broken up into 5 different songs. Each song has someone who's kind of in charge of helping set up the choreography and getting people together. That's a pod leader, and they're also the in-between between the shin, the leader, and everyone else, so that one person isn't doing everything.
I am going to have at least a couple different tools in my pod. We're gonna do hoops, probably some fans, possibly stabs. I don't know what else is interested so far, but I'm gonna find that out today.
6 wants us to, wants the last 2 songs, which is like me and Bunny, to kind of have more of the veterans, so we could have more of a bang to the end of the show. But I do see some people that I want.
They will let the pod leaders know if they're interested in spinning for that particular song, but then the final decision is made by the leaders, the shin, and their suggestions are taken into account, but I'm not 100% sure how that's all going to play out, so we'll see.
I am going to try and just nail down who I want in my piece fast so that we can get to work.
We have a storyline built around a singular person, so each pod has to pick that person. Now, we structured it so it doesn't have to be the same physical human being. They're going to be represented by, say, a mask or a crown, just so that you can distinguish that is the person that is experiencing the story that we are trying to tell. the challenges with that is going to be making it a more cohesive show, because it's not going to translate very well to Burning Man if it just looks like this one man self-gratifying jerk-off show. Like, yeah, they have to. I think the challenges with each pod is going to be how they integrate this one person with the rest of the show and make it look like a whole piece and not just like a framework around this one person.
Today's main agenda, we're going to be going over safety. We're going to be lighting everybody on fire for the first time. Well, not them physically, but we're going to put a tool in their hand for the first time, light it on fire, give them experience of putting out a tool for their first time, so that everybody gets experience knowing not only what to expect with some sort of flaming device in their hand, but also how to extinguish it safely and not burn their face off in the process.
It was a major adrenaline rush. It was a major confidence boost because I was at first super scared to do it, and I was super proud of myself for pushing myself to try something new and exciting. Kind of makes you feel like you're like God or something, and like you're like controlling this element, and it's super exciting to just have that control.
Have you ever wanted to help your fire performers put on a great show? Have you ever thought that you are not good enough to spin a fire tool? Well, I got something just for you. You don't have to spin a fire tool. We got towels, we got extinguishers. Come be a fire safety, help your idiot fire performers be safe. Have a great day, we want you.
What we do is we make sure that everyone, while they're performing, that if an emergency happens or anything like that, that we are properly prepared. We also put out all the tools at the end of each segment of each show, and make sure that we have the safeties trained up to be able to do so. That's pretty much the program in a nutshell. The biggest thing about safeties is just getting them here, because everyone wants to be a performer. That's always the biggest trick, is to find safeties. Like, I want to spin a staff. That's not what I need. I need someone who can spin a towel. When you're a safety, for most times at practices and shows, you are pretty much bored.
Oh, I'm on fire! Oh, I'm on fire! Oh my God!
But when it's go time, and we are very vital for everything. If you don't have safeties, there's no point in doing this.
We're going to audition duets today. Do a vote on that one, see which one we like.
The day when I went over to Six's house, we had this really awesome idea for inspiration, and it was a scene where a dancer meets up with this other dancer, and they start dancing and swirling in the water, because there's like a pool of water, like, and there's rain coming down, and they're like dancing and spinning and like bringing the water element into like the feel of the dance while being togetherness with it. So we wanted to kind of create that experience, but with fire.
It's gonna be kind of like almost, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always kind of thought of it as a new love. Like, two people meet and there is attraction, and they migrate or magnate toward each other, and then they go through their passion, and at the end there's a betrayal.
So the theme of the show is metamorphosis, and as the show begins with love and togetherness and hopefulness, it changes into more of a darker realization of tragedy that can happen in our lives, or setbacks, obstacles that we face that can really just bring you down. Sometimes life kicks you in the teeth, and I think we've all had that experience. But then the show progresses to demonstrate that you can have that spark again. You find the spark, you find the joy, and despite our moments of darkness, you can recreate life and light and beauty.
No burnt hair, so pretty good.
How do you feel like you did?
Made one little mess up there. It was a little bit of a last minute change and I kind of made one mistake, but it felt pretty good.
Yeah, I think it felt pretty good. It always seems shorter when you're doing it as opposed to watching it.
Yeah.
Watching somebody do 90 seconds of choreography can feel like, 10 minutes, and then running through your 90 seconds of choreography can feel like 5 seconds.
I think you did really well.
This is the first time I've performed in front of the whole group, and so I was like really nervous, really scared, still shaking.
You're good.
We did it! Yay! It went so well.
Very smoother than I thought.
Yeah, we did great. All the hours of practice have paid off. I felt like we were in sync. It went really smooth. He lifted all of me despite having back issues and the flu right now, so that's wonderful.
Yep, sorry you missed work this week.
People dropping out is always an issue. It's always a bit of a hiccup that we have to deal with throughout the year.
You can spot people out pretty easily. Yeah, you're not going to last, and it's unfortunate because sometimes you have really talented spinners and you wish they could last, but sometimes with the 10-year people you can definitely expect them to be here, but even they sometimes surprise you. And so one of the big drawbacks usually in the first few months of practicing is trying to find out who's going to stay and who's going to drop. That became very frustrating because sometimes you just don't know, okay, well, this person's not here tonight, so okay, let's do it without them or pretend like they're there. And other times like, well, they're not here tonight, let's just go ahead and practice as if they're not going to be back here again. It's always that like area of gray. You just don't know what to do.
This year's a bit different because we're actually over capacity for our Burning Man show. So we kind of need some people to drop, even though we don't want people to drop. We're gonna have to make the hard decision here in the next 2 weeks of possibly having to cut people from the Burning Man show because we just do not have the space for them, unfortunately. So this year, that's a new challenge. We've never had to cut people because we've had too many. Today we're gonna light up the whole show. Kind of regardless of what you got, whether or not you got your whole piece or not. We want to at least get everybody started all the way from Duet all the way to finale. And we want to start everybody getting in the habit of running through this pace, right? Part of this is to get everybody to understand that this is a show as a whole. To start thinking about our transitions, how you're going to finish off your piece and how you're going to light the next piece and so on and so forth. We want to start, like I said, thinking about the piece as a whole. Also getting in the habit of proper lighting procedure and dip station procedure. Getting dipped, getting ready, knowing about where you want to get dipped and ready so that you are ready to go on stage right as the next group is coming off.
This morning I did the May Day review, which is basically a conference call with some of the higher-ups from Burning Man. And the first one, basically, they just go over deadlines, what's expected, where to go for help, ideas for choreography, get all my deadlines set, and they'll talk about deadlines and like what they expect, how they like the video to be shot. So like the first deadline that's set down is the May Day review, which they want 5 to 7 minutes of choreographed material, preferably on fire, but it doesn't have to be. And then they give you feedback on more or less the framing. I mean, you'll get a little bit about on choreography itself, but mostly it's just the framing. How's the lighting? Can you see people's faces? Are they too close or far away from the camera? Things like that.
So every year, usually since we've had Tribe, as long as I've been a part of it, we've always had some kind of fundraiser. We do get some money from the E11 board, but however, to put the show on costs a lot of money, from whether things like we sometimes want to do costuming, which this year we were really fortunate to get costuming funding for the first time, but the key source of our things is going towards fuel. We go through maybe 10, 20 gallons a night, just depending on the show, from not only just from the show, but also from our many practices we have, and it just takes some time and money that we need our community help and friends from help from.
For those of you guys that don't know, we're Utah Fire Tribe. We are a group of fire performers. We like to go out and set things on fire and basically do all the stuff your mom told you not to do. We're very grateful that you guys came out and you guys are helping us chase a dream of going out and performing. Hopefully we make it this year. If everybody's working good like I know they have been all year, then that should be no problem. We should get out there and get to perform in front of 80,000 people. Also, we are an open group. If you'd like to come out and join Utah Fire Tribe, we require nothing for you to join and come learn a little bit about it, other than just show up on time and be willing to learn. So next year when you see invites to come join Utah Fire Tribe, and if you've been curious, feel free to come join. It doesn't cost anything. We don't charge you any money. This is an open family fun type of environment. We like to welcome everybody that wants to come and learn. So come on out and learn, and come be part of a show and come be part of something crazy. I'm just really grateful that so many people actually came out to kind of show some love and support for everybody here for what we do. And I'm just really happy with you guys so much. This is probably the best turnout we've ever had. Normally it's only like 20 people, you know, and you guys are really awesome. You guys enjoy yourselves? You guys have a lot of fun? Yeah. Get a lot of folks going, man, that was really cool. Thank you for putting this on. I was really happy to see a lot of families out there and stuff. Because our fundraisers was normally held at bars and whatnot. And it was good to have families out there and folks bring out their kids and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. There was a lot of fucking people out there. We had more people at that fundraiser than we've ever had at a fundraiser before. That was pretty fucking dope. So, good job last night on the fundraiser, everybody. Congratulations. You should all be very proud. That's a good grip of money. We are now properly financed to enjoy our year, so that hurdle is over. That is one less stress in my life. All right, so today's plan, practice as usual. I would like to get 3 on fire run-throughs done tonight. What's the main thing what's gonna determine that, folks? How fucking slow you guys are when I say, let's pull it in, let's get this done. If I say, if at 8:30, I go, let's pull it in, let's do fire, and everybody does this, you know?
The only people when he says pull
That means we're not gonna get through our 3.
On that note.
Pull it in means pull it in. Let's get it together, let's start moving. What's today? It's film day. What does film day mean? It means a whole bunch of shit. It means, but long story short, rather than list all the little minuscule things it means one overarching thing. We gotta have our shit together today, folk. We gotta be on the ball. We gotta be ready to do this. Keep this in mind, right? Like we are sending out our video to Burning Man. We are sending them what our show is, right? We don't have, even though we're gonna have about another month or so to kind of practice and get it polished up even more for Burning Man to get it better. The whole point is right now, our show's 100%. We're showing them the best we got, right? So essentially, you guys, I want to, what I want out of this is show quality energy, show quality attention. Everybody ready, waiting, willing to get, ready to get dipped, ready to come on stage, fucking minds on the game, ready to do what needs to be done. Go out there, do your fire. You guys have all been practicing for months now. Everybody should know what they're doing by this point. Go out there, do your best, and then some. And then we send it into Burning Man. If we did well, they go, hey, fuck yeah, these guys are awesome. Let's bring them out. And then guess what? We all get to go to Burning Man. It sounds great, right? Dip station ready?
Ready.
Safety's ready?
Ready.
Camera ready?
Ready.
Performers ready?
Yeah!
Fire!
Element 11 is the Utah Burning Man Regional. All of us locals pretty much go to this event to have a big party and see the art that we've all created and try to show off for each other. Music, visual art, physical art, and burning art. So it's a gamut of different types of things to enjoy beyond partying, but the party is also part of the event.
We tried to do more fire spinning and stuff like that, and it just was, a lot of people were just like, ah, it's too cold to do it. And I'm like, yeah, the fire warms you up though. We had an opportunity for one of our longtime veterans, Auntie M. She's one of our longer standing members. She also had her former husband, who passed away last year while everyone was at Burning Man. As a tribute, wanted to come out with some flame and tribute in his honor. And when she walked out with that, and we all went silent for the respect of that for her and for Larry, as we all miss him.
Okay, without further ado, Burning Man news.
Yeah.
The email has happened.
Do I read it?
What?
We are not performing. It's not necessary.
What the fuck?
Oh, wait, you're not going to read it?
Really?
I can read it, but that's what it says.
Oh, look at that. We pissed off the kid. Take that, Fire Council of Burning Man. You upset a baby. What the fuck?
Thankfully, we got the Sentinel position. We didn't get it for our entire troop. We had 50 people. I think we could take only 20, and there were people like Six who offered not to go to give that spot up to people who may not have been, because Six has been before, and there's many other people in the same boat. Burning Man it's an adventure. To get ready for it, to get prepared, it's a lot of work and a lot of dedication, because when you're out there, you don't have conveniences. Try to get in and out is just near impossible.
The experience that I have with Fire Tribe every year is just so amazing. It just throws you so many curveballs. You never really know what to expect, and it's just so many lessons. I feel like the first year I did it, I went out there very not obviously knowing what to expect, but this kind of deserving attitude, just going out there thinking, this is going to be a good vacation. I'm going to go out there and relax the whole time, and it's work, and you go out there and you end up helping a lot of people, and at times you're like, oh, I don't want to be setting up this camp right now. I want to be partying, but you kind of get over that quickly, and just adapt to helping. And so the experience, there's always new lessons to be learned.
Everybody's required to show up to Conclave Convergence and basically sign in to prove that they're there. Because we all get discounted tickets, so they like to have us it's their way of holding us accountable. We don't get to just take the cheap ticket and then not do our job. And this is one of the steps that they go through to make sure that you show up and do your job.
Want a bang? On Monday, there is actually a ceremony. And this ceremony is Crimson Rose using a magnifying glass to harness the power of the sun and to start a fire. As simple as this sounds, it is actually very beautiful, because the entire festival is built around this flame that is created through this ceremony. All of the lamps that are lit every single night are lit with an extension of that exact same flame. When it comes time to perform in the Great Circle, every single fire conclave and the man himself, everything burns from this exact same flame. I think that that's very beautiful, because you're taking something that at its surface seems so mundane. The sun, most of the burners spend a whole day hiding from it because it's so hot and brutal at Burning Man, and harnessing it into a connective power that really just pulls the entire city together.
The positions we have, of course, is the Sentinels. If you've been in or around the circle before, you've seen them. They hold positions of light around the entire circle. Not only is it just visually pleasing, it's safety. It helps the processional know where to go. It helps the fire groups know where their boundaries are. If anyone's been in the circle before the Sentinels, you would remember that you went I think our space is here, but we have 70 people in our group. And you tend to bleed over, and the poor group next to you is get the hell out of our space. We've got 70, 50, whatever, 100 people too. So what Sentinels do is they help those fire groups stay safe, stay in their positions, not be somewhere they're not supposed to be. It helps the crowd too know that, hey, the show's gonna start. So, let's be somewhat polite and watch what's going on ahead of us. It also tells people that pretty soon the man's gonna burn, so, you might get where you want to be.
Your shin has to wake up, get to that camp to pick up everybody's laminates to distribute them.
The feeling you get when you're at Burning Man and you're standing in what they call the Great Circle, and you're like one of very limited people that are allowed in that spot. When you're first there, there's only a couple people on the side of the crowd and everything, but as you're there and you're waiting for, for it to get dark and everything, and then it starts getting darker and all these people just start gathering around you, like 80,000, 90,000 people, and you realize that all these people are here to watch the man burn and you and your group perform. And it really just takes over. It's just really just this amazing feeling. There's no really great way to explain it, because it's a high that you just will, carries on throughout the rest of the year. I literally think of Burning Man at least once a day now.
Be in the Great Circle and see everyone else perform, I think was a really awesome experience, and it's something that not a lot of people get, even the performers, because you're in there performing and you're focusing on your piece and what you're doing. So I really enjoyed having the freedom of being able to kind of look around and check things out. I'd do it again. Rather be a performer, but I'd Sentinel again.